whose story at this moment, in terms of casting, who is the actor that you should be focused on right here? Should you be focused on both of them, or one of them, or who's the most important person in the scene, and why? And how do I capture that? And how do I get the performance from them that's really going to drive this home? So, you got stuff you need to talk?
I actually have another question.
Oh.
In our script, we have a scene in which there are extras that are needed. How do we go about the extra casting process? How is that different than casting for regular roles?
They don't get to talk, and they're called wallpaper. But they are almost as important, if not more important, than your actors in many cases. If you watch some of the movies, and I'm always blown away, whether it's something like the opening scene from Saving Private Ryan, or some shot in a subway station, or what was I watching the other day? Gangs of New York, the Leonardo DiCaprio movie. That's all extras. That's all background. Did you ever think about that? Everybody, it's all this huge thing about what the streets of New York were like back in those days with the actors up in front. And all this crap is going on behind them and in front of them and around them all during the whole movie. That is choreography. That is excellent background casting. That's where you want your extras to, because they sell it, And so you want good extras. And in Hollywood, there's professional extras, but they also put out calls for all sorts of people. There are people who make a living at being an extra. And, so what about an extra? Well, in the olden days, every extra who didn't want to just be an extra wanted to be an actor, so they would do anything they could to get their face on camera, which meant that they then became featured extra because they were like their head was next to the star. So now they couldn't be used most of the time because they were now prominently displayed, and you couldn't have them walking in the background on another day because you go, isn't that like that guy that's just sitting right there next to that actor? So they need to be background. They need to look and be and act like what they're supposed to be doing. If they're supposed to be sitting in a coffee shop having coffee, if you go in and you watch, as a director, you go down to a coffee shop and watch people have coffee. They don't act like they're having coffee because they're having coffee. And that's what you want. That's how you need to direct and choreograph your actors. Their background actors, their talent, is to have them be as believable as possible. Everything is about believability, because if somebody's obviously miming drinking in the background, they're going to destroy your shot. And if you don't notice it during the shot, you're going to notice it during editing. You're going, oh my God, because I can't go back and shoot that over again and look at that clown in the background. So, if you can, and you got enough people on it, you have a background wrangler. You have somebody whose job it is to choreograph the extras, and they can do that with the director, but you choreograph everything so that you know exactly when this guy's going to pass, or when this girl's going to do that, or when they're going to signal the waitress, or when the waitress is going to come through while all the action is going on here. Now, I don't know what your scenes are, but you know what I'm saying. So, same thing with casting. Do you have the wardrobe that's appropriate? Can you be here on time? Are you on time? You have a regular, call for that night or that day that you're shooting. And if it's like this group where you expect 20, but you get 6, or whatever it might be, you got to figure for that. So what happens if you've got this big scene planned and you don't get all of your extras to show up, and now you've got 3 people sitting there and you're ready to shoot? And maybe it doesn't matter if there's 3 people in a cafe, but it might matter if there's, another scene where you're supposed to have tons of people. So all of that is, again, your production and making sure that you get a call to them by phone, and you're going to be there, and you call them the night before, and you email them or whatever, you get the cooperation and have them show up. I went further than I know what the casting question was, but essentially, you got to treat them. I used to eat with the extras. It was really funny. I would go, because they would always set actor tables up and extra tables. So sometimes we'd be sitting in a nice tent, and the actors would be sitting out under trees in the rain. The extras. And I'd just go sit with the extras. Because to me, they were cool. They were girls I wanted to date anyway. But, or whatever. But I was just saying that it wasn't, if you're working something and you're on it for a while, you sit with the cast all the time. But that's this us against them kind of thing. I just go sit with the people. They're more real. So, everybody who is on camera is an actor. They're background actors or they're foreground actors, but they're actors, and they should all be believable in what they're being asked to do. And if it's your film, whether you're the director or if you're the producer or the director, then the decisions that you make in casting will greatly reflect how well your film is ultimately received. How many times do you go to a movie and you just go, that sucks, that's not good, the acting sucked, it was bad, I didn't believe it. That's bound to happen anyway. We all make crap. Everybody who's in the movie business will make crap. That's part of being in the movie business, is you make crap and then you have to live it down for the rest of your life. But you do, so you do what you can.
Excellent. Any more questions for Rex? Okay, great. Thanks a lot, Rex.
Make your movie, make it fun, make it good, make it happen. That's the main thing. And don't take any of it too seriously. Be serious on the set enough to get it finished.